Hey, it's Rich Tyson. It is Friday in sunny Rochester. Got a quick update on some news that popped up this past week. Let's get to it. So, I'm not going to make this a real long video today, but I do want to put a shout out to Michelle Conlon from Rueters for taking the time to interview me this past week about what's going on here in New York with regards to the moratorium. The story was mostly about how the national moratorium ends here at the end of this month, July. Obviously, we've got an additional month of moratorium here in New York due to the infinite wisdom of our state legislature and governor. But she was just asking, she had seen me on the Republican Assembly press conference back from the last vote to extend the moratorium, and wanted to just kind of confirm with me if I'm still in the process of selling properties and if that's still taking place, which is totally the truth. But she was, bringing up the attention about how, the title of it is Selling Out, America's Local Landlords, Moving In Big Investors. And that's still what I'm seeing. Now, some of the properties I've sold have gone to local folks, but a lot of these are going to larger, well-heeled, downstate, out-of-state investors. We're just continuing to export wealth out of this concentration of poverty that unfortunately exists in Rochester. And for the love of God, you can't get anybody in a local body of government to pay attention to it at all. Adam Bello, Lovely Warren have been totally useless on the topic. They don't want to engage with anybody that knows anything on it. They've, in their infinite wisdom, they decided we could do without New York and we're going to bring this thing in-house for the rent relief, which is going miserably. Unless you've got a ready, willing, able, qualified tenant who's going to go pursue the rent relief, the housing providers are not getting it. There are people that owe me thousands upon thousands of dollars now that I am simply not going to be able to recoup. The 9 evictions I was able to start in October, for instance, those 9 people that are still living for free and have been and were living for free prior to that October, there was a 2-week period where we could start the eviction process. The cumulative amount owed by those folks by the time the moratorium ends at the end of August is going to be a little over $48,000. My entire property tax liability for the year on my properties is about $48,000. So to the local government officials, we need to talk, because there's a lot of people in my position that are behind on property taxes. We have no ability to collect rent. And if you guys wanted to be so smart here in Monroe County and run your own program, then you need to make a program that works for the people that actually need the rent relief, not just for the select few people that have a ready, willing, and able tenant that's going to go and pursue the rent relief that's been allocated to this portion of the community here in New York. So again, I want to thank Michelle Conlon for highlighting the issue that's taking place. Small housing providers, landlords like myself, are getting decimated. All this property is transferring ownership to people with much deeper pockets, and often people that don't live in the areas that the houses exist. And that's a recipe for disaster. So Adam Bello, Lovely Warren, Lovely, I know thankfully you're on your way out, but Adam, you're going to be here for a little bit longer. Wake up and pay attention, because this concentration of poverty that exists in Rochester is going to be further entrenched in poverty as we continue to export wealth and wealth generating tools like real estate. So if you've gotten wise and you want to talk to me, you know how to find me. I'm the easiest guy in town to get a hold of. I'd be happy to sit down and have the discussion. And if you don't, I'm going to continue to hammer you, because you are decimating this community that I care a lot about and a lot of us care about. And you're probably insulated from any of this actually having a negative impact on you. But I can tell you, it's impacting the community and oftentimes the people that can least afford it. So that's my nasty Friday rant. It was good seeing you. Link for the story below to the Rueters article. I encourage you to read it. And again, to Michelle, thank you so much for bringing attention to this matter. It's drastically needed, and we very much appreciate it. So have a good weekend, folks. Be well. I'll catch you soon.